Did the latest episode just hint that Amy Fleming is pregnant again? One single moment, barely a few seconds long, was enough to throw Heartland fans into complete chaos. She touched her stomach, she looked away, and suddenly, social media exploded with the question no one was ready for. Is Amy having Ty's second child? It wasn't just a scene. It was a spark, and that spark has started a firestorm of speculation, heartbreak, and hope across the entire fanbase. The clue that started it all was supposed to be a simple, quiet scene. Amy was standing by the barn, watching Lindy ride Spartan under the soft Alberta sky. The wind moved gently through her hair. She smiled, but then something strange happened. For just a second, Amy's hand moved to her stomach. It wasn't dramatic. There was no music cue, but it was there. A small, quiet moment, but full of meaning. Her eyes shifted, her face changed, and fans caught it immediately. Some thought she looked worried. Others saw softness, almost like wonder. And that tiny motion was all it took to set fire to the internet. Reddit threads popped up overnight with titles like "Amy Pregnant?" That gesture was no accident. Twitter hashtags like "Tarn Amy Baby" and "Chagger Heartland Twist" began trending in fan circles. Even longtime fans who had followed Heartland for over a decade weren't sure what to think. Was it a hint planted by the writers? Or are fans simply reading too much into a quiet, emotional moment? But this isn't the first time the writers have used subtle visual cues to hint at big storylines. Remember Season 10, when Ty's illness was foreshadowed by his strange quietness and absent-minded behavior? Or when Lou's marriage problems started showing through small, almost invisible moments between scenes? Heartland has always trusted its viewers to notice the little things. And now, many believe the same quiet storytelling is being used again, with Amy's possible pregnancy. This wouldn't be just any baby storyline. For many, this could mean a second child from Ty, a baby born after his death, which would add deep emotional layers to Amy's journey. It could be a memory preserved in life, or perhaps even something she had kept private until now. The theories are endless. Was it a plan she and Ty made before he passed? A frozen embryo they saved? A choice she was afraid to make until now? Others suggest something even more dramatic. Maybe it's not Ty's at all. That theory has led to even more debates and a storm of emotional reactions. Because the fans are not just talking about plot, they're talking about legacy, love, and loss. This single moment, Amy's hand to her stomach, wasn't loud, but it echoed like thunder in the hearts of fans. For a show that builds so slowly and carefully, this kind of gesture feels intentional, planned, and potentially life-changing. And that's why the question won't die. Is Amy really going to be a mom again? Or is Heartland just playing with our emotions? When a woman loses the love of her life, the world doesn't stop spinning, but her heart does. That's exactly what happened to Amy Fleming after Ty's tragic death. One moment, they were building a future. The next, she was left holding their daughter and the pieces of a broken life. So now, as whispers grow about a second child, one question keeps coming up. Would Amy really choose to face that kind of pain again? Amy's first pregnancy was filled with joy and quiet excitement. Ty was there holding her hand through every fear and every hope. But as we all know, he never got to see their daughter Lindy grow up. His sudden death shattered Amy's world, turning every happy memory into something bittersweet. Even now, seasons later, Amy still carries that grief, like a shadow. So, when fans imagine her possibly becoming a mother again, it's not just about a new storyline, it's about whether she has truly healed enough to let herself hope again. There are moments in Season 19 that show Amy smiling more, being lighter around Lindy, even writing again with more confidence. But healing isn't a straight road. Some fans say she still seems guarded, like she's scared to open her heart too wide again. And maybe that's why the pregnancy theory feels so powerful. Because if it's true, it means Amy has reached a turning point. Not just as a mother, but as a woman choosing to live again. Some believe this could be Ty's last gift to her, a final piece of him living on through another child. Others think it might symbolize something new, a future that Amy creates for herself, not just one tied to her past. Either way, it's emotional, it's complicated, and it's exactly the kind of drama Heartland is known for. But the fan base is split. Many are excited, calling it a chance for Amy to find joy again. They see it as growth, a fresh start. Others are heartbroken at the idea. To them, another child would feel like a betrayal to Ty's memory. They argue that Lindy was supposed to be the one and only connection to Ty. Why change that now? And still, there's the question of timing. Has Amy truly healed enough to raise another baby alone? Could she handle the emotional weight of doing it without Ty by her side? Would she even want to go through pregnancy again, knowing what she's already endured? These aren't just plot points. They're real, human questions. And that's what makes the drama so rich. Amy's story has always been about strength, love, and resilience. But this could be her most personal battle yet. Because choosing to bring a new life into the world after such deep loss isn't just brave, it's terrifying. And if Amy is pregnant, then Heartland Season 19 isn't just about horses and family anymore. It's about whether the human heart can truly love again after being shattered. It was never supposed to be a love triangle. Amy and Ty's love story wasn't just romantic, it was legendary. Fans watched them grow from awkward teenagers to devoted partners, building a life filled with hope, horses, and healing. But after Ty's tragic death, the idea of Amy loving someone else felt impossible. Until Nathan stepped in, quietly, respectfully, and very, very slowly. Now in Season 19, the air around Amy and Nathan has started to shift. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, but it's there. An unspoken tension in the way Nathan looks at her, the way he offers help without asking, the way he stands just a little too long after their conversations end. And Amy? She doesn't pull away like she used to. That's why this baby drama has sent shockwaves through the fandom. Because if Amy is pregnant, some fans are now asking the unthinkable. What if the father isn't Ty? What if this isn't a memory, but a new beginning? The idea of Amy moving on romantically has always been sensitive. Even when Caleb, Lou, and others gently encouraged her to open her heart, Amy resisted. Not because she didn't want love again, but because she couldn't imagine letting go of Ty's memory. But Nathan has never pushed. He simply remained there, consistent, kind, and patient. And slowly, that patience is starting to feel like something deeper. Some viewers argue that Nathan's presence in Amy's life is exactly what she needs. A calm contrast to the storm she's lived through. He's grounded. He understands loss. He's also fiercely respectful of her space, never stepping too far. But others feel his growing role is disrespectful to the love story fans still mourn. They believe Ty is irreplaceable, and any romantic shift, especially if a child is involved, would erase what made Amy and Ty special. But here's the twist. Heartland has never tried to replace Ty. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the story isn't about choosing one man over another. Maybe it's about learning that hearts don't just replace love, they expand it. That love after loss isn't betrayal, it's survival. And this is where theories explode. If Amy is pregnant, and if, just if, Nathan is the father, then that would change everything. It would signal that Amy has made peace with her grief, that she's allowed herself to embrace life again in all its messy, beautiful, terrifying ways. But what if she's not pregnant yet? What if the writers are planting seeds, testing fan reactions, preparing the ground for something even more powerful in Season 20? Either way, one thing is clear. Ty's memory will never fade. He was Amy's first great love. But maybe, just maybe, he wasn't meant to be her last. And Nathan? He might just be the man brave enough to stand in Ty's shadow, not to replace him, but to remind Amy that her story isn't finished yet. Lou always means well. She's the organized one, the planner, the fixer. When Amy's world collapsed after Ty's death, it was Lou who stepped in, taking care of Lindy, helping manage the ranch and offering advice whether Amy asked for it or not. On the surface, it looked like sisterly love. But now, in season 19, fans are starting to ask a tougher question. Is Lou quietly steering Amy's life in a direction Amy might not even want? Throughout the season, there have been subtle moments, easy to miss unless you're watching closely. Lou gently encouraging Amy to date again. Lou mentioning how nice it would be for Lindy to have a sibling. Lou reminding Amy how strong she is, how she deserves happiness. Sweet words, supportive even. But underneath those words lies something more complicated. A subtle emotional push. One that fans are starting to see not as comfort, but as pressure. Let's not forget, Lou is used to making big decisions. As mayor, as a mother, as someone who's rebuilt her life more than once, she's all about moving forward. And to Lou, moving forward means action. It means decisions. It means Amy not standing still in grief. But Amy is not Lou. Amy has always been more thoughtful, more quiet, more emotional. Her healing has taken years, and just because she smiles doesn't mean her heart is ready. So when fans saw Lou excitedly asking Amy if she was seeing someone new, or when Lou made a passing comment about how great it would be if there were 2 little ones running around, it hit a nerve. Was she dreaming for Amy, or dreaming through her? Some fans defend Lou, saying she's just being protective. She's watched Amy suffer in silence. She wants her baby sister to live again, to laugh again, to love again. But others think Lou is overstepping, that her own stress, her own regrets, are leaking into Amy's life, and it's not just about a baby. Lou's political career has taught her how to say the right things in public, even when the emotions underneath are messy. Has that polished mindset crept into her family advice too? Is she helping Amy make heartfelt choices, or convenient ones that look good on the outside? It's clear that Amy listens to Lou. They've shared loss, shared parenting struggles, and shared responsibility for Heartland. But sometimes love and pressure look the same, especially when they come from family. And now, if the pregnancy theories are true, fans are wondering, did Amy make this choice for herself? Or did Lou's steady stream of encouragement, guilt, and dreams plant a seed deeper than anyone realized? Amy's journey has always been about finding her own voice, often in the quiet moments. But with Lou's influence growing, especially this season, fans worry that Amy might be caught between what feels right and what looks right. And as the sister who always tries to fix everything, Lou might have crossed a line without even knowing it. He doesn't need to speak to say everything. Jack Bartlett, the Rock of Heartland, has always been the quiet strength behind every major moment. He rarely gives long speeches or dramatic reactions, but when something big is happening, he knows. He always knows. And in season 19, many fans believe Jack already understands something the rest of us are still guessing about: Amy's possible pregnancy. It's not what he says, it's what he doesn't say. Watch closely. In scenes where Amy looks tired or distant, Jack lingers. He watches her with those protective eyes, the same way he used to when she was a girl, crying in the barn after her mom died. When Amy rests her hand on her belly or seems lost in thought, Jack's expression subtly shifts. It's concern, but not confusion, almost like quiet acceptance, almost like he's already figured it out. Fans have always respected Jack's wisdom. He's not a man who pries or pressures, but he sees through people in ways no one else can. And that's what makes his silence in recent episodes so powerful. When Lou talks about Amy moving forward, Jack doesn't nod along. He watches. When Nathan hovers near Amy, Jack doesn't interrupt, but his eyes stay on both of them, as if trying to read what's unspoken. And when Amy smiles at Lindy and goes quiet afterward, Jack sometimes looks at her like he's preparing himself for something he already knows is coming. One moment in particular set off fan alarms. Amy was cleaning out the loft, sorting through Ty's old things. Jack came in, said nothing, just stood beside her. Then, softly, he placed a hand on her shoulder, looked at her with those tired but kind eyes, and said, "Whatever comes next, You're not alone. He didn't mention a baby. He didn't need to. Fans caught their breath. Was that Jack giving his blessing without needing to know the details? This is the kind of emotional weight Heartland does best. It doesn't spell things out. It trusts you to feel them. And Jack is the master of that emotional language. His role this season hasn't just been about helping on the ranch or being grandpa to Lindy. It's been about standing as the last emotional link between Amy's past and her possible future. If Amy is pregnant, Jack would be the first to accept it quietly and love that child fiercely. He wouldn't lecture. He wouldn't ask questions. He would simply be there, just like he always was when Amy needed him most. But here's the twist that fans can't stop thinking about. What if Jack's silence isn't just support, but concern? What if he sees the weight Amy is carrying and worries that she's not truly ready? He knows better than anyone what grief can do to a person. And he knows that rushing into anything, even something joyful, can reopen wounds that never fully closed. Jack may be the quietest voice in the room, but in season 19, his presence speaks louder than anyone else's. And whether he's silently preparing for a new chapter or quietly bracing for another heartbreak, one thing is clear: he'll be right beside Amy either way. The moment Amy touched her stomach, the screen went quiet, but the internet did not. Fans didn't just react, they erupted. In the days that followed, Heartland's fan base turned into a battlefield, divided down the middle between two fierce camps: those who believe Amy deserves a second chance at love, and those who say Ty's memory should never be replaced. What started as a tiny gesture has now grown into the biggest fan war the show has seen in years. On one side, there's the hopeful hearts, fans who want Amy to live again, love again, and maybe even build a new family. They argue that Amy has suffered long enough. They believe this possible pregnancy is not a betrayal, but a beautiful symbol of growth. To them, season 19 is about healing. They point to the way Amy smiles more now, the way she lets people in. They say she's ready, and if Nathan is part of that future, then maybe that's okay too. Ty will always be part of her, one fan wrote, but Amy is still alive, and she deserves to feel alive. Then there are the forever Ty loyalists. To them, Amy's heart was buried the day Ty died. Any new romance feels like erasing the show's soul. These fans call the idea of another child heartbreaking, not healing. "Don't replace what can't be replaced," reads one viral comment. Others are angrier, accusing the writers of playing with grief for ratings. Amy's love story ended. "Respect that," one tweet read, with thousands of retweets in agreement. In the middle are the torn fans, the ones who want Amy to be happy but feel unsure about how fast things are moving. They ask the hard questions. Is this baby storyline really about character growth or just shock value? Is Heartland being true to its heart or just chasing headlines? And things are only getting more intense. Fan pages are posting frame-by-frame analyses of every Amy and Nathan scene. YouTube reactors are uploading hour-long breakdowns about that one barn scene. Even former cast members are being tagged in debates as fans beg them to weigh in. Worse still, fans are turning on each other. Reddit threads get locked. Instagram comments become battlegrounds. Some fans even threaten to stop watching if Amy moves on, while others say they'll leave if she stays stuck in the past. But here's the truth: this chaos, it means the show still matters. After 19 seasons, Heartland is still making people feel. The characters are more than just fictional, they're personal. And Amy? She's the heart of it all. This pregnancy storyline, real or not, isn't just about a baby. It's about grief, survival, and the fear of letting go. That's why it cuts so deep. That's why fans are crying, fighting, and clinging to every scene like it's sacred. And maybe, just maybe, that's what the writers wanted. Not a clear answer, but a mirror. A reflection of what it truly means to move forward without forgetting the past. A new chapter or the end of an era, what Amy's baby means for Heartland's future Heartland, was never just a show about horses. It was about family, love, pain, and holding on when life tries to break you. For nearly 2 decades, Amy Fleming has carried that story. Her bond with Ty was the heartbeat. Their daughter, Lindy, became the symbol of love after loss. But now, if the theories are true and Amy is pregnant again, fans are asking something bigger than just, who's the father? They're asking, what kind of show will Heartland become? Because this isn't just about Amy anymore. It's about the legacy of the series. Heartland is at a crossroads. If Amy is having a second child, then everything changes. The show moves into uncharted territory, a story not built on healing from the past, but building something new from it. And that scares people. It excites others, but no one feels neutral. For longtime fans, this moment feels like the breaking of a sacred timeline. For years, everything was built around Amy and Ty. If she truly starts a new family, it will shift the emotional center of the show. Will Lindy feel pushed aside in the story? Will Ty's memory slowly fade from the screen? Or could this be the writer's greatest challenge yet? To keep Ty's presence alive even as Amy finds the strength to start over? And what about the future of the show itself? With this pregnancy storyline, Heartland could be setting up a generational pivot. Lindy is growing up. Jack is aging. Lou is pulled in 10 directions. The ranch is changing. A new baby could be the symbol of Heartland's next era, a torch passed to a new chapter. But is the audience ready for that? Or are they still holding on too tightly to what Heartland once was? There's also the question of identity. Heartland has always been about staying grounded, slow, patient storytelling in a world of flashy drama. But this pregnancy twist, it's bold. Some say it's too bold. Others argue it's exactly what the show needs to stay alive. After 19 seasons, can any series survive without changing? Or does growth mean letting go of the very thing that made it special? The truth is, Amy's journey has always mirrored the show itself. Strong, resilient, grieving, but never broken. If she is bringing new life into this world, whether it's Ty's or not, it means Heartland still believes in hope, in starting again, in taking risks. And maybe that's the lesson the writers want us all to feel, that holding on doesn't always mean staying still, that sometimes moving forward is the tribute. And maybe, just maybe, this baby, this chapter, is not an end.